This is working. Hey there, welcome to Live with Heidi Mine. Real quick, this is your 1 to 2 minute warning. I am going to check that the live is up on Facebook and YouTube. So go grab your favorite drink and then we will get started. Let's see. Hopefully this works. It looks like it's working on YouTube. So, okay. How do I? Oh, I forgot. I just have to turn my volume down. Okay, and I have the chat open there. I was gonna do things different tonight, and then life, right? Okay. So let me refresh here. Ah, it looks like I am. It looks like I'm live. Okay, are you live? Do I have volume? Testing. Testing. There we go. Okay. Heidi Mine is live right now. Yay. 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 So let me put Heidi Mine. I don't know why it always does that. Mine.com/subscribe. Boop. And let us pin it. There we go. What is up, homies? I'm Heidi. I'm a work-at-home handmade business owner at HeidiMine.com, as well as a homeschool mom of 11-year-old and 13-year-old girls. I go live here on Facebook and YouTube on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific. During the live, I share things about what's going on in my business, our homeschool, and our personal lives. Be sure to follow on Facebook or subscribe on YouTube to get notifications when I post videos or when I go live. And feel free to hit the like or thumbs up button, as this helps more people just like you come and hang out. If you are joining me live tonight, please comment with #live, or if you're watching the replay, go ahead and comment with #replay. This does let me know when people or if people are watching and if I need to change up my times or my days. And if you are not already subscribed to the email list, you can check the pin post and sign up there to get updates on new products, blog posts, sales, and any other fun things going on. Thank you so much for letting me take last Wednesday off. Friday was my birthday. Yay for all things Barbie, right? But we did celebrate last Wednesday with my father-in-law and a couple of his friends who also share July birthdays. And the three of us our birthdays are all within a week of each other, although quite different years. So that was a lot of fun. We went to a local restaurant called Shirasoni's, which I don't know if they have those everywhere. If you've ever been to a Benihana, it's very much the same. So we love it there. I'm on their list, their VIP list, whatever. So I got a free dinner because when it comes to my birthday, it is some serious signing up for things. I get a free sandwich from Togo's, a free coffee from Starbucks. I get the free dinner from Shirasoni. I think I get a $10 credit at BJ's, a free sandwich or hamburger or whatever at Red Robin. And I want to say Habit Burger also does a birthday reward. The only one that I have to do on my birthday is Starbucks. Starbucks used to do it where you could go at any point during the month, but I always had problems with getting my birthday reward to work. And it must have been a big thing. Like nobody could get it to work. And I was always very honest. I only got the one birthday reward, and even if it showed up in my profile, I wouldn't use it. And then they kind of pinned it down to like you could use it within 2 weeks of your birthday. And then now you have to go on your birthday. Whatever. I think Denny's also does that now, where they don't send out, like Denny's used to send you a certificate that said come in within so many days of your birthday and you get like whatever, a grand slam or something for free. They do it now where you have to actually go on your birthday and show your driver's license and the whole rigmarole. And sometimes you just don't want to go to Denny's on your birthday. Let's be honest. So we had planned to go with my mom for the weekend, and my driver's license expired. And the local DMV is not a fun place to hang out. It's not even a fun place to go at all. So I go to one that is like a little further away. I guess they're both about the same from where I'm located. But this other one that is a little bit like, I don't know, in the direction no one wants to drive in. That like I'm always super fast there. So online it said they opened at 7, and then somewhere else it said, I think my GPS said they didn't open until 8, and they did not in fact open until 8 o'clock, which was fine. Thankfully, we were running late, so we didn't actually get there until just a few minutes before 8 o'clock. And apparently I was supposed to fill out an application for my driver's license. I wasn't paying attention, I guess. So they did let me in a few minutes early to do that on the computer system. I got that done. And by the time I was done with my application, they were already calling my number. I was not the only July 21st birthday that was celebrating at the DMV that morning. There was another man also. He was also renewing his license, and he happened to mention it. And so there were some jokes about the DMV being the birthday place. This is not my first birthday to go to DMV on my birthday. I also went to DMV on my 21st birthday because I have no life, and I never have, apparently. When I was 21, I was living in Reading, and I was working 2 jobs. I worked at Round Table in the mornings. I did the prep shift and worked through lunch, and I worked 40 hours a week there. I was like Monday through Friday. I think it was like 8 to 4, 8 to 5. I think it was 8 to 4. So I got off work that day, probably a little bit early, and I went to DMV and I got my picture taken. Like, I think I was wearing whatever shirt. Like back then, I think that we did like white button-up shirts, something like that. So I was wearing my Round Table shirt in my DMV picture. And then I went to my aunt's house, and all of my cousins on that side of the family are like almost 10 years younger than I am. So we just had birthday cake and hung out, and I wasn't really feeling that good. So I didn't, even if I would have been a party animal, I wasn't in the mood to go party that year or any other year. So after the DMV, I already had my coffee, and we started to head to my mom's, and she said, go ahead and start heading to Santa Cruz. She surprised us with a weekend at the beach. So that was really fun. I was really proud of myself. We used to go to Santa Cruz at least once a year. My uncle has a house there, and he's relatively close to the beach. He's like above the flood line. So that's great. So you can walk to the beach from his house, but it's a little bit of a walk. And especially in past years when I was not in very good shape, not that I'm in great shape now, but believe it or not, I was in worse shape before. Let's close that. Keep an eye on if there's anyone commenting. So by the time I would get down to the beach, I would already be kind of tired. And my husband he was really tall. He had long legs. So like even slow walking for him, like I really struggled to keep up, especially walking in the sand. but I have been working on my health in the last year or couple years. So even though I'm not really where like I want to be physically, I was walking, there's a staircase that you have to go down to get to the beach, and I'm not good with stairs, and it's like wooden stairs and they're not completely even, and it freaks me out, but I did it. But I was doing really good. Like even my youngest, she doesn't like stairs either, and she was doing amazing. And we got down to the beach, and they got to play in the waves a little bit, and then we walked a lot. And that first morning I could feel it, but it was this great like feeling. And we did go to the beach the second day, although not for very long. And then the final morning before we left, there was a race. And apparently the race happens every single year. And I didn't know it because we went to the house last year for my birthday, and then we went this year for my birthday weekend. So it's always the Sunday after my birthday, apparently, the wharf to wharf race. And the house is like on the path basically. And there's a Starbucks that is right near. So usually I walk to Starbucks in the morning, and I realized that Sunday morning that the race was going to happen. So I got up a little bit earlier, and we got to Starbucks before the race officially, it had already started, but it's quite a ways away. We're like middle towards the end. So we were able to go in and get our drinks and breakfast, and then it was really picking up by the time we were leaving. But there's usually like big gaps in the marathon, so you can kind of sneak in, not to race, but just to get where you need to be. So we were able to get back to the house, and then we got ready to go to the beach, and we went down to the beach, and we walked so much, and it was so empty on the beach. The kids were just picking up shells and sand dollars and all kinds of stuff. So that was really fun. It was just a really like relaxing birthday. I kind of was having a little bit of like a breakdown at first, because I was thinking about all the things that I really should be doing. There's a lot of stuff there. I needed to work on my website. I wanted to get some sewing done. I've got some other personal projects going on. The house always needs to be cleaned. So I was a little conflicted at first with taking any time off, because I just kept telling myself, well, I was just off for six weeks in Arizona. But that really wasn't time off either. So I just let myself kind of enjoy the moment. Tonight, I wasn't really sure what I wanted to talk about. And I had started kind of talking about some things, like I started writing some stuff. And I don't know if I'm going to completely go on script, but I'll probably touch on some of it. So just some quick updates. Around the house, it's chaos. When we got home, I was just super tired. We got a few things done, but we really just like, we're getting back on track, and it's a slow start. So we've gotten little bits of things done here and there around the house, but not as much as I would like. And sometimes that's just the way it has to be. We do have some family in town that we're going to get to visit with tomorrow and Friday. So super excited about that. But yeah, I just kind of have a lot of stuff to clean, which is great because that means that I can do more clean with me videos. Yay for progress. As far as homeschool updates, we have our first back to school meeting next week, and I believe school pictures are next week. And today I was just told that map testing is also next week, although I haven't gotten a sign up for that yet. So we'll see how that goes. My advisor, because we do work with a charter school, started emailing me today with all kinds of different things. We have like papers we have to sign and things we have to fill out. And we got an email that my oldest did get into the core classes that are offered on site at the school, which she took last year. But we've already ordered curriculum and I can't return it. Like if I had ordered it and paid for it out of pocket to be reimbursed later, I could have returned things and that wouldn't have been a problem. But if I order it on a purchase order, they can't, it still comes out of my budget. Like I don't have to use it, but it comes out of my budget regardless. So she and I talked about it, and it would have been going to the campus 3 days a week, just like last year, which was kind of a lot. So we opted that we're only going to do 1 day of classes on site. And then if they end up being able to qualify for the math tutoring, we'll leave time for that. But the rest of it, we're going to do at home. And we're really just going to buckle down this year and really focus on getting caught up in all the areas that we need to get caught up on, and not so much of the running around. And also, when it comes to homeschooling, people always want to talk to me about socialization. And that's a tough one for me, because when I was in school, I would get in trouble for too much socialization. Shocking, right? So I've really never invested too much extra energy in the socialization part of homeschooling. When we first started homeschooling, the kids were in things like ballet and gymnastics, and there were some other things. My oldest was doing theater right before all the shutdowns. We did park days whenever they were available. And we did like extra classes at the school. We did a lot of things. My kids were fine with being around people. Were they shy around adults? Of course they were. All children are shy around, well, not all. Most kids are shy around adults though, and they should be. The world is crazy. So, but when it came to other kids, my kids were always very open and friendly and engaging, and usually went up to other kids to ask if they wanted to play. So I've never really worried about my kids making friends, because we've never had that problem. If we went out to dinner, since my kids could talk, they would order for themselves. They'd go with me grocery shopping or to the store for whatever shopping, and they would talk to the employees and the cashiers and whoever. And then we had 2020, and suddenly we weren't allowed to do the things because of where we're located, because that's not the case for everyone, and I get that. But for us, then where we're located, everything was shut down. The library was shut down for 2 years or more. I can't remember anymore. It was definitely shut down for 2 years. Our parks were closed. They had like police caution tape up that you couldn't go to the park. All of our restaurants were closed for dine-in. You had to wear a mask to go grocery shopping, and they only wanted a certain amount of people in the store at any given time. And I understand, I'm not going to take this time and space to criticize how things happened. All I can speak to is our own experience. And during that time, we lost quite a few family members, none of them to the virus. Just going to say that flat out. In our experience, in that first year, we did not lose anyone to the virus. It was all from other reasons. And in some cases, we weren't able to say goodbye. And in some cases, we were blessed that. But life is short. And I'm just at the point where, I'm tired. I'm tired of it. So yeah. And then with last year, I don't talk a lot about last year. I do and I don't. But especially with you know, losing my husband with the kids losing their father, it's very new ground for me. My dad is still alive, so I don't know this path. And our homeschool community was amazing for us. And they really stepped up in so many ways. And that was wonderful. And our family stepped up in a lot of ways. And our friends stepped up. So, you know, we did have people, you know, coming in for us. And then they do tell you it gets quiet, and it does get quiet. People start to go back to their lives, and that's fine. We had to navigate where our path was going to go, the kids and I. But it's also a little bit lonely. So I think that if 2020 had not happened the way that it did, who knows? I mean, I don't want to play the what if game. Things would have been different. But because my kids were already so isolated, and then having that kind of a traumatic experience, it is a little harder getting back into the world of people. And he was a big, loud person. So he filled a lot of space for us. And so there are a lot of things that are very similar in the way that we live our life, the same as before. And then there are these moments of quiet that didn't exist before, and we're trying to navigate those. So the reason I bring this up during my homeschool update is that this year I really wanted to focus on socialization for my kids specifically, that we can focus on their friendships, on their in-person friendships, focus on doing more get-togethers, doing the things that we did pre-2020. And, you know, and if they want to take a ballet class or a dance class or a music class or whatever, that's fine. But I also want to just do things that are a little bit more one-on-one, movie nights, barbecues. We have a brand new pizza oven in our backyard that I still have not taken out of the box yet. And we're a pizza family, so pizza parties. Like, there are so many different things that we can be doing and that I want to be doing. So that's our focus. Obviously, the schooling part of homeschool is important. But this year, for the first time ever, socialization is actually something that I am going to be putting a lot more effort into, for the kids and then also for myself. I have noticed that for almost 30 years, I have been part of a team, if you will. I know, you know, it's a partnership. Relationships are partnerships. So I have been half of a partnership for almost 30 years. And suddenly I'm just me again. And you change, like, whether you want to or not, you change. I'm the same person. The deep parts of me that have always been the deep parts of me are still me. But I have to learn how to be just a whole Heidi again. And I also have to teach the world to see me as only Heidi again. So that's, you know, it's an interesting road to navigate, and I'm learning. But I've made some play dates for myself with some of my friends. I have like plans that, you know, don't require me to do a whole lot of nighttime driving because I don't love nighttime driving. But yeah, but I'm definitely trying to put myself back out there again for my friends so that I can readjust to being whoever this new Heidi is. the combination of who I am now and who I once was. It's a weird thing. It's so strange. I don't know. It's a strange path. We'll see where it goes. But I was talking recently to a family member and saying, that there is a certain level of, is disinclusion a word? A certain level of disinclusion. I'd say in the last, well, definitely since the kids were born, our family declined more and more invitations to things for whatever reason. With my second child, I did have a bit more postpartum, but also I was working full time and taking care of both kids while I was working. And then we moved right into homeschooling, and I was still working, and I was trying to launch my own business. I have said to my friends and to my family and possibly here that I was built for chaos. And I am built for chaos. I thrive in things, going crazy. It's the quiet moments where I start to panic. And since we are having these quiet moments, I have to learn how to also thrive in not chaos. But when I was single, when I was younger, I didn't always wait for invitations. I would invite people to go do things. But I also kind of just showed up at things. If I knew where my friends were going to be, I would just show up at things. And they didn't seem to mind. I guess maybe if they did, it's too late now. But I would show up, and that's the kind of person that I want to be. I want to be the person that shows up. So that is a challenge for myself. Not only the socialization for the kids, but to show up for myself as well. That's homeschool updates. Business updates. Oh my goodness. I did do a little bit of fun sewing the other day. I did try to record. I have not looked at the footage yet, but I'm pretty sure it's scrap. Because the sun, I have a window over in this part of my room that is where my machines are. And I thought, oh, well, that's brilliant, because then I don't need an additional light source during the day when I sew. I have this great window of light source. And it's fabulous when I'm sewing because I don't need to put a light there. But if I want to record, it makes it a little tougher, especially because the room is not done yet. So there's kind of stuff everywhere. So putting the camera somewhere is not convenient at the moment. And also recording in general is not super convenient. So I'm pretty sure it's just all shadows. If there's something usable, I will turn it into something. Maybe a reel, maybe a TikTok, a short on YouTube, whatever. I'll figure something out. But I did do a little bit of sewing, so I was really proud of that. Yeah, I did do sewing. So a couple things that I did that I can actually show you. This is a little snap tab. I have not put the snaps on yet. So it's glitter vinyl and machine embroidery. And then this is just a little piece of fabric here that I have from some Little Mermaid fabric. It's super cute. And it has a little tab here. This needs a snap, and then it can be a little keychain. And then I also I was very much in, these were on my list to make. I had planned to do kind of a mermaid themed stitching week at one point, and these were just on the list and they were already in my machine. But these are flag fobs. I think that's what I call them, is flag fobs. And these also have kind of a mermaid scale stitch on them. And it just gets a little key ring on it, and it goes like on a purse or key ring or whatever. And I made some other ones that are not beach themed at all, but they're still in the hoop, and I didn't cut them, and I'm not going to go get those. I'd have to move things. So yeah, so I'm excited to be doing more sewing, or any sewing, to be honest. I need to do more. I'm just not completely organized. And I knew with my birthday, I wasn't going to be home for the weekend anyway. So we were dealing with other things, getting cleaned in the house before I could come out here. So this next week, as we prep to get ready for our first week of homeschooling, which will be the following week, I will also be working in here and trying to get more things done. I was kind of thinking maybe I could do some sew along videos or stitch with me videos while I'm doing a live. My dilemma is the machines are loud, and it's not completely convenient for me by myself to try to watch the machine and watch for comments and all of that. So we'll see how that goes. Most of the designs that I'm making right now are from a designer that does not allow me to do tutorials. I guess that's the best way to say it. So I can't show you all of the step-by-steps, which is fine. I respect that. That's totally fine. But they are my favorite designs. So I'll have to find some things that are close to what I like that I can still show you. Like, you can just see me making them. I don't necessarily have to explain the step-by-steps for you. But I do want to try to start getting caught up on my schedule, because I really thought when I was in Arizona that I would be better on schedule and being able to upload to YouTube more often. And it was quite the reverse. And I have not gotten able to get back on my schedule again. So I am working towards getting back to that regular posting schedule. Hopefully, maybe I can reboot again August 1st or possibly Monday. I'm a firm believer in do-overs, which is good because I usually need them. Other business news. I do have my Halloween pop-up shop open and running on Etsy. I believe it's etsy.com/shop/Hey Heidi Mine. Could not get Heidi Mine. Not sure who has Heidi Mine, especially the spelling that I used. That was weird, but whatever. It is what it is. So it's Hey Heidi Mine. And some of my social media is also Hey Heidi Mine, because I could not get Heidi Mine, M-E-I-N. Which is part of my name. Just, it's not something I just came up with. So I was trying to upload photos so that I could get the pop-up Halloween shop open on my website. I started uploading a ton of things on Wednesday or Thursday last week. I think it was Thursday. And I know I logged into my website at least once this weekend. I had to have. And I've checked my Etsy shop, because I do check those things. And I put some new things into Etsy, I don't know, yesterday, Monday or Tuesday. And when I went to go into my website, I cannot get into any of my media. So on a WordPress website, you have it's just called media. It's any type of audio, video, photography, like photograph, any of your images, any of your videos, anything like that. It goes into one folder called media. And I don't know if I just overwhelmed the system. I don't know if the files were too big, which is possible because I was uploading a different type of file this time, because they're supposed to look better on my website. But now you're not going to see them because I can't find them. Nothing's there. You can go to my website. There's everything that was there before is still there now. As far as I know, all the pictures are linked that have existing listings. I had to think of the name. But I can't create new listings unless I can get to my media file, folder, whatever. So I did contact tech support yesterday. He is in another country. He's amazing. He's amazing. Don't get me wrong. But he's in another country. And so the time difference is sometimes not convenient. And he does do tech support for quite a few other people. We bought a package. It's like a group, and we all bought this training package to build websites. And I love it. It's great. It's fantastic. But I know like he gets a little overwhelmed sometimes. There were 2 people ahead of me yesterday. So I don't know if he's had a chance to take a look at it. And I hate to, like I went in today and I was trying to do a few things, like delete some things, hopefully make some room. But I hate to do too much if he's in there because I don't want to offset whatever it is he's working on. But I don't know. I may just message him and say, should I just restore from a backup from like the week before and call it done? Because I don't think I had changed much. I just added photos. There were a couple listings that I added, but I might be able to download those separately. I don't know. But yeah, a website, there's so many advantages to having your own website over depending on Etsy, but it's a lot more work. It just is. Like if I had a problem on Etsy, I'd have to contact Etsy and they'd have to fix it. But they do more regular testing. I don't have the time, the money, or the patience to do super testing all the time on my website. So that's what it is. So yeah, I think that's the gist of it. Like that's the nuts and bolts. I'd love to talk to you more about business, but I'm kind of drawing some blanks. Like I need to get back to posting to social media. I have been lagging on my blog. I haven't sent out emails in a while. Those are things that I really need to work on. I'm going to keep blaming Arizona. It was a lot more than I thought it was going to be. And it got me out of my habits that I had built up for myself. So that's always hard when you build a habit and then suddenly you're not doing that anymore. And then you're just kind of like, wait, what? So that is what I'm going to be working on. Although we have a lot of things this week. We have a get together tomorrow, a get together Friday, and then a different get together with one of my mom's friends on Saturday. So I don't know. How does everyone navigate their time? How do you do all the things? Like that was something I was thinking about in the cars. You know, people always ask women like, how do you get it all done? And I really feel like most women, if you ask them, how do they get it all done? They tell you they don't. It's not physically possible. I kind of, for a minute, considered talking about the whole like Barbie movie thing. I did not get a chance. I can't talk. I did not get a chance to go see the Barbie movie yet. Movie theaters and I, kind of a tricky thing. I don't love paying to go see a movie and then pay more for popcorn and whatever else, and then have to hear or smell or see other people. I know, I'm horrible. But I really feel like if you're paying that much, like to go sit and watch a movie, that is the time I want to be isolated. I want to be isolated when I watch a movie. Because I want to be able to talk to the movie, but I don't want anyone else to hear me talk to the movie. So I have seen, and I'm just going to touch on this because like I don't want to make it a whole thing. Obviously, currently in the news, maybe not obviously, currently what is filling up my newsfeed on Facebook and even a little bit on Google is the Barbie movie, the Oppenheimer movie or whatever that is. I don't know. And I'll talk about that in a second. Why I don't know. And then the writers actors strike, which I know they have like saga, AFTA, whatever it is that their little like things are. Don't care, actually. So as far as the strike, I posted to my personal page on Facebook because Mandy Moore, who I love, she came out with some thing where she was trying to make a point about residuals. The woman made over $9 million making This Is Us. And then she's talking about only getting 81-cent residual checks. And then she comes back and she says, you know, well, it wasn't really about her. It was about other people that make less. That's fair. It's totally fair. And Fran Drescher, who I mostly have liked in the past, she got all uppity because people were condemning her for taking a picture with Kim Kardashian. That wasn't for fun. That was for work. No, honey. No. No. You took a picture with someone because you took a picture with someone. Like, sometimes you just have to call a spade, okay? Were you working on your strike, blah, blah, blah? Sure, whatever. We can multitask. We're women. Raw. But you play dress up for a living. Like, let's be really honest. Actors play dress up for a living. They pretend to be real people and they get paid a lot of money. Do I think that streaming services are hiding their numbers? Heck yeah, they are. Because nobody ever regulated that to begin with. So you're basically trying to say that because you didn't tell the child not to run through the house with scissors, you're going to punish him now because he's running through the house with scissors because you never told him not to. Like, move forward. I get it. And that's what the strikes are about. Cool, whatever. Okay? Do what you got to do. I think that Hollywood thinks that we take them much more seriously than we do as normal people. I'm sure there are plenty of normal people that think Hollywood is the beginning and end of the world. I'm just not one of them. Case in point, Oppenheimer. No idea what that is. No idea. I know that they walked out of their premiere, so they didn't like do the promotion, all of the promotion stuff for a movie that they were releasing. Cool. You do you, hon. I'm not particularly a Robert Downey Jr. fan. I know. Come at me. Go ahead. I'm just not a fan. Believe it or not, I have not been a fan of RDJ since Weird Science. I know. It's weird. It's bizarre. You don't care. He doesn't care. It's fine. I don't know why, but Weird Science, he is in that movie. He plays kind of a douchebag and he does it well. So kudos to him. But something about Robert Downey Jr. at that time, and I was a child at that time. Like, I was a little kid when that came out. I just didn't like him. Something about him I did not like. And he's just never been my favorite person. And I've watched the Iron Man movies. They're all right. They're not my favorite Marvel movies. I've said it before. I will continue to say it. Iron Man and Tony Stark, whatever. I could care less. Yeah, there's a whole lot of less I could care. I'm not an RDJ fan. So when he comes out with a new movie, I kind of don't pay attention. And maybe this Oppenheimer movie is fantastic. And if it is, kudos. That's great. But again, I don't care. It's not that big of a deal to me. I don't like going to the movies. So whatever money that they are so proud of themselves for bringing in opening day weekend, the second weekend, the 15th weekend that it premiered, that it's in theaters, none of that is my money. I don't care. I think that all of that money could be going to a million other things that are way more important than the celebrities. But that's just me. maybe that whole structure needs to be redone. The writers, the actors, and all of the little people that actually put the things together, maybe it needs to be rebalanced by someone like, I don't know, a professional accountant that has nothing to do with Hollywood. Or maybe you talk to the guy flipping burgers, because, you know, you put a lot of stock in the fact that someone working a minimum wage job should be able to afford to live on their own. So shouldn't that qualify them to assist actors and writers in whatever it is that they're trying to get? I think it's fair. I think it's fair. Totally and completely. They forget my catch up, but let them figure that out. The writer strike and all that. I'm good with it. And then we come to the Barbie movie, which I have not seen. I will say that. I have seen lots of previews. I have read a bunch of different opinionated articles. I love opinionated articles. They make me laugh. I never take them too seriously because they're opinions. Everyone's got one. I know that there is always going to be this battle of right versus left and black versus white and Democrat versus Republican and male versus female and United States versus Russia or United States versus China or whatever. You could go on and on, right? I could definitely go on and on. So I get it. There's always going to be the one against the other. And that's great for a movie because it creates the conflict that will draw in a crowd. But I have been a fan of Barbie for a very long time. So when you get people that are like, blah, 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 patriarchy, and blah, 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 misogynistic, and blah, 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 female empowerment, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Here's the thing. For years growing up, people always looked at Barbie, and this is, from what I've seen when I talk to people, is a majority of society. They look at Barbie and they say, that's unrealistic, it's unattainable, it's this, that, or the other, whatever. Barbie is a doll, honey. Barbie's just a doll. She's a piece of plastic. She could literally be whatever she wants to be because she's not real. Not real. So let her be a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer or the president or a flight attendant or a captain because she's not real. I do like that they create Barbies that fit more societal norms, different colored Barbies, different, like, I don't know. They do a lot of different things with Barbie now, and I like that. That's great. But growing up, Barbie could just do anything because she's a doll. She's not real. It was never about, like, you know, down with men. It was never about down with men. It was just about, like, you're a little girl and you're playing with a doll and you can do whatever you want with that doll. You can make her a housewife, you could make her a mom, or you could make her the CEO of a company. Yeah. And then, like, they want to get all down about Ken and, like, all the Kens are so dumb. Well, my Barbie was into G.I. Joe and sometimes He-Man. So, like, I didn't have very many Kens growing up, truth be told. Let's just call it what it is. Boys didn't want to play with a Ken doll, okay? And girls just kind of got the Ken doll because, you know, a family member that didn't know them that well probably bought it for them. Like, I don't know. Some people are just taking this way too seriously. Should girls be raised to be independent thinkers and to think that they can do whatever they want to do? Absolutely. Let them think that. They're little girls, just the same as little boys should be allowed to think that they can be anything they want to be and to put their energy into being the best at whatever they want to do. All children should be encouraged to do the best, to be whatever they want to be. But don't hate on the doll. Like, that's just silly. And if my dolls were not completely up in a closet right now, I would totally show them to you, because I have a couple dozen Barbie dolls still that I love. I love my Barbie dolls, and I don't love them because they have fantastic jobs or because I put unrealistic expectations of my own self-worth into them. I like them because they're pretty. Like that's the beginning and end of it. My Barbie dolls are pretty. I have like a Victorian Barbie doll, and I have Barbie dolls from the Gone with the Wind movie series and the Wizard of Oz movie series and My Fair Lady, which is one of my favorite musicals. I have 2 Bob Mackie Barbie dolls because I, as an older teenager and young adult, felt that anyone who could dress Barbie and share was just magical to me. Like, you know, it just was. I have a Vera Wang Barbie doll. I love them. I love them because they're pretty and they make me happy. So that's all you need from Barbie. And I think that's about an hour. So I'm just going to tell you that if you want to see the Barbie movie, go see the Barbie movie. If you want to support the actors and the writers in their strike, do support them. If you don't want to support them, don't. That's okay. You do you. If you want to go see RDJ, then go watch Robert Downey Jr. I will not hold it against you, I promise. I just probably won't. I don't know. I guess I should do more research about that movie. Maybe when they come out on like a streaming service, I'll watch them both and then I'll do a review. A Heidi review of any movie is probably a really scary place to live, because I go kind of rando on movies, especially if there's a book. If there's a book. Then just real quick, because I want some water actually. Not because I compare books to movies. I mean, there is a certain amount of comparison, but I like and I think I've mentioned this before, I like movies and I like books separately, and I like them to be their own piece of art. So I actually enjoy when a movie is slightly or more different than a book, as opposed to if a movie is trying to be so much like the book, because they usually miss the mark. The Harry Potter movies, I read all of those books. The last of those books, the 7th book, came out on my 30th birthday, just because July 21st is an absolutely magical day. Just, you know, for record. I thought those movies were fantastic. Do they have every single detail from the book? No. But if you could open up my imagination, again, scary place to live, the movies did my imagination justice. It can't be said for everyone. Everyone has their own idea of what something's supposed to look like. But for me, I thought the movies were excellently done. I always find it strange when they like replace a director, or obviously they had to replace Dumbledore because the first actor that played him passed away. So like you have to do that, or you just don't do the movies anymore. But I always think that it's strange when you change. I would feel like that's a key aspect to a movie, and then you're changing it. Because it would change the way that it feels to me. And it does. And I've seen some like behind the scenes stuff, and it was very on purpose, like how they changed things, and progressively things got more mature and they got darker, and that was fine. I think it streamlined very well. To go slightly off topic, my brother used to read a lot of comics. He was very much like a Marvel comic kid, and I liked Marvel comics, and I know little bits about Marvel, and I know little bits about DC. Superman will always be my favorite comic book hero, period. It's Superman. And specifically, like, Christopher Reeves is my very favorite Superman of all time. Always will be. Nothing you can do about that. But I do tend to like the X-Men movies more than all of the other comic movies. And that, like, I don't know, I should do a whole different video about my opinions of James Gunn, right? James Gunn is the director and his brother is the actor. I think that's what it is. Maybe I'll do a video about that one day. Because I did like Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought that was one of the most fun of the Marvel movies. Both of them. I haven't seen, did I see? I don't know. Do they have a third one? I haven't seen the third one. I've seen the first two and then the Christmas one. And they're fun and I love the soundtracks. I think that has more to do with the age range. I'm a Gen X. The like directors and the creators and like Kevin Feige, whatever his name is. He's close in age with myself. I feel like James Gunn is a bit older, but maybe he's not as older as I thought. So yeah, like all those people are right in like that Gen X kind of bubble. So the music is very important to me in any movie. And for that particular movie, it just really like hit on a lot of perfect points for me. I did like Suicide Squad, the first one. I've never seen the second one. And I think that the transition of James Gunn from Marvel to DC, I just feel it's weird. It's just a weird feeling to me. And I just don't know if it's going to do either company very good. So I'm going to leave you with that one. Maybe that's what I'll do. Maybe Wednesdays I'll talk to you about my movie and my comic fascinations, because it's a strange world up here. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. If you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like or a thumbs up, follow or subscribe, and comment with #live or #replay. All of these interactions not only help to push out the video to more people that would enjoy them, they also let me know what content you are enjoying the most. If you ever have a suggestion of what you would like for me to talk about, feel free to put it in the comments. I could talk to you about homeschooling. I could talk to you about my business or about small business in general. I've been on Etsy for a long time. I've had my own website for about 4 years now. So like there's a lot of different kind of things that I could talk about. Or if you want to hear the crazy ramblings of a strange reader that likes watching movies and commenting on them and doesn't love RDJ, comment with that. I would be happy to talk to you about all of those things. Maybe not the RDJ thing, because like there's a limit. Like I'm not gonna bag on him. Everybody deserves to grow and change. And I'm sure he's a wonderful person, and I'm sure he's clearly had a lot of growth and a lot of change. There's just something about him puts me off. I don't know. But again, like he's never gonna like meet me and I'm never gonna meet him. And so it's okay. We just have to be respectful. We don't have to like and know each other, right? All right. I'm going to cut this out and I will see you next week. Bye. Let's see if I can shut this off.